Cool. I can give you guys a link if you need it.
Let me
Yes,
just
please.
get the chat open here.
We're live.
Look here. Let
Hello.
me know if it works.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, it should.
Oh yeah.
Oh, got that.
Why is my
Let me
copy
go
paste not working,
share,
bro?
share screen, share tab. Nice.
I wonder if any of our fellow friends from the live will come on and join.
Yeah, it tells me how many
Sick.
viewers we have on Riverside, how many viewers we have on YouTube on the top right.
Cool.
Well, I mean, we can get onto the picks, do the quick prelims, and just get to the
Bro,
other stuff.
MK, your
If our-
keyboard. Bro, you're
Oh.
smacking down on them.
My bad. Here, let me turn up the gain.
Are you guys excited about this card or not? Or
I think it'll be some
Let's
fun
get on to
fights.
introduction.
How often do we see Vanessa Demopoulos?
Alright, you guys ready?
bro, are we actually picking that card? Because I
Okay,
crossed it out. We're not, right?
Before we start. Welcome back, everyone, to UFC Chit Chat. It's your boy Chia, Jackson, Joey, and MK on the live right now. It's been a while since I think all four of us have done something together. To be honest, one of us always flakes, and I'm gonna take the blame here because sometimes it's me and sometimes it's me again. But we are gonna be giving the full picks and breakdowns of the main card of UFC Fight Night Atlantic City, and we'll give a quick summary of who we think are gonna win the prelims. UFC Chit Chat news. About to hit 2K followers, 10K likes on our most recent post. Gonna hit 200K views. What can I say?
Hell yeah.
We're farming the third world country fan. So
And
Kurdistan.
And
Yeah.
not even the country. So I don't know. We're exploiting these people. So thank you guys.
Cool,
But
yeah.
I think we'll give one sentence breakdowns of the prelim fights, breakdown to the main card fights. Joey, Jackson, MK, you guys have anything to add on before we get into it?
We're not doing the first one, right?
Real
Come
excited to
on.
get. Wait, no, we're doing the first one, dude. Come
Yeah,
on.
Bro, I
I'm
don't
down
know
for the
who's
first
gonna
one.
win
Right.
that.
Well, my
Bro,
pick win
boo.
for Jamie Lee Horth versus Venepa Dapopoulos is
Oh
I don't give a
my.
fuck.
Yeah.
My one sentence is I don't give a fuck.
My one sentence is they're both mid. Like, it's just, that's it.
Shit. All right.
My one sentence is I do care.
Who wins? What's your prediction?
Yeah, it gives no prediction, though.
That's a great question. Jamie Lynn Horth.
I think it's a death of a stripper or something. I'm trying to think of a good sentence.
You should have thought a little harder than that, man. Just say you don't give a fuck. Be honest.
I'm trying to be nice. You already did that.
Talking about Battle of the Mids, Phil Rowe, 6-inch
Who
reach
are we,
advantage.
mid?
Doesn't use fucking reach at all. Give me Lusa.
You guys are crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe a guy like Angelosa in one sentence, but give me him.
You guys
Phil
are
Rowe's
crazy.
length, I think, like he has like striking, he has good length. I think Angelusa, maybe he might struggle with the volume a little bit. And like Phil Rowe, I thought he put up obviously he didn't do good against Jake Matthews, but I thought he put up an okay fight.
No, you guys are crazy. I think Phil Rowe is really talented, especially in the grappling department. He's not old or anything, but he's been around the UFC for a little bit. And Angelusa, like, looked so mid in that last performance. You guys are crazy. Phil Rowe for the win. You guys will see. Probably by submission.
That was a run-on sentence. I'll be for a journalist.
I'm just sick of the Phil Rowe disrespect.
For a journalist,
The run-on sentence is crazy, bro.
I'm trying to fix myself here listening to you guys bash my boy Phil Rowe for no reason.
Okay, Ricky Simone versus Cameron Smotherman. Ricky Simone is going to smother Smotherman.
Yeah, Smotherman's not a real UFC fighter.
Yeah. Ricky Simone just has to land once.
Yeah, I was going to say Simone by a million takedowns.
Okay, looks like we're all in agreement there. Cody Durden versus Jose Ochoa. I don't know if all the Codys are drinking a fucking strand of water that makes them dog shit fighters, but I'm going Jose Ochoa.
I'm gonna go Cody Durden. I think it's gonna be a matter of whether he gets takedowns or not. I think he'll be able to.
Yeah, I think Cody Durden's more of a reliable veteran, so I'm gonna go with Durden here.
Go Joey.
This one's a little bit tough. Durden is the veteran, but I think Ochoa. I might have picked Durden on my picks actually, but I might flip here and say I think I like Ochoa.
Ooh, me and Jackson are together on a pick for once. So
Let's
that's
go.
great.
This is a fun one.
Cameron Wellmaker versus Chris Moutinho. Give me Chris Moutinho.
What? No way, bro.
You're
I
insane.
was not. I was telling you guys Cameron Wellmaker is ass, and he flipped me. Give me Cameron Wellmaker, not because I think he's the next best.
Well, his
thing,
name is
but
Malcolm Wellmaker to start, so that would probably be
because
bad.
Chris Moutinho's like, I don't know how he's 6'9", 9-6. I don't know why.
Oh
he's
yeah.
Yeah, Malcolm Wellmaker. Gonna.
Yeah. One of the few things Chris Moutinho is good at is taking lots of damage. So I'm gonna go with Malcolm Wellmaker.
I may bet on Malcolm Wellmaker over 1.5 rounds.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking maybe Wellmaker second or third round TKO potentially, but
Yeah.
I like that.
Moutinho's listed striking stats are like something like 4.5 landed a minute to 15.5 absorbed a minute.
Okay, Michael Chiesa versus Court McGee. Chiesa, Chia. Give me Michael Chiesa.
Yeah, I agree. Give me Michael. Court's too old.
Chiesa I could see by Kimura here. That's what I'm predicting.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like the jiu-jitsu. I also think that Court is like really strong. He's like old man strength type of guy. So I'm a little bit conflicted, but fuck it. I'm gonna just say Michael Chiesa because he commentates and stuff.
And
Or-
just a little thing just to say about this. Chiesa, like, he's kind of getting old. Like, if he ever
Yeah.
wants to like start making his way back up the division, he's got to stop fighting these old ass men. Like, fight some legit people like Randy Brown or somebody like it's a legit welterweight.
Yeah.
I don't think
They're like-
anyone. I don't think anyone in the top 15 wants to waste a fight on.
But
him.
he's on like a 4-fight win streak because he fights like just old people. I feel
Bro,
like.
it's not like he asked for Court McGee though.
I know, but isn't
True.
it sad that you're on the prelims and you're literally like announcing for the UFC? Like, shouldn't you be like?
He's on the 2-fight win streak.
He is.
One of them
Okay.
is Tony Ferguson.
Dude, he
Oh,
looks
yeah.
good. He looks good against Max Griffin too. I thought he looked good in that fight.
Yeah, I agree there. Okay, next fight: Paul Craig versus Rodolfo Balato. Paul Craig said he's fighting for his job here, and looks like he might fucking be my coworker soon. No way he's winning.
Yeah.
MK, what you got?
I think Rodolfo Bellato is just like way too big. I think his punches are going to deal too much, and we're going to see another like Paul Craig fish out of water jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, look,
but-
takedown accuracy of 20%, and his win con is to take it on the ground.
Yeah.
I'll just say that if you're saying that Paul Craig's fighting for his job, then
He
after
said
this
it.
weekend he will be unemployed. I think we can guarantee it.
Yeah, I'm gonna side with you guys and go with Rodolfo.
Yeah.
Okay.
By
Now
knockout.
on to the bread and butter of this. We're getting on to the main event of the Atlantic City fight card. Alonzo Menifield, ranked 15 light heavyweight, kind of ass though, versus Omar Sy. Who wants to break this down first?
I'll go first.
Yes, sir.
Based on what our friend Tuco said to us, Umar Sy, he's very talented, extremely athletic, and I think someone like Alonzo, he's okay, but like whenever they fight these like uber talented individuals, I think he struggles. So I think Umar wins this.
Yeah, I agree with you here, MK. Umar's got the huge reach advantage. Menifield's definitely still got a lot of pop in his punches. He's got a puncher's chance. I just don't really see where he's better at this point in these guys' career. Umar is so well rounded. He's so explosive, such good cardio. Again, he's much bigger, so I think all signs point towards Umar here, probably by an early finish.
Something that I always think about in these light heavyweight fights is like guys like Umar Sy don't really excite me and don't really like I don't really see them being all that like super talented in terms of like making their way up the division. But like I didn't think that way after Carlos Ulberg got finished, and then he's kind of been able to just be athletic and make his way up the light heavyweight division, which is like kind of pretty thin at this point. So I think that Umar Sy might be able to squeak by this just because Alonzo Menifield is 38 years old now. He's known to take shots not well, so I could see Umar Sy having some success on the feet against him. Um, but it's a tough fight for Umar Sy. This is going to be a really big prove it fight for him if he wants to fight guys who are in that bottom, of the top 10 to 15 in the rankings.
So who do you have?
I have Umar Sy. I just
Yeah.
I don't think Umar Sy is super talented, but people have proven me
Talented
wrong
enough.
before in light heavyweight because it's very thin.
I'm on the complete opposite fence of you. Not pick wise, but I think Umar Sy is like a shitty Jolton Almeida, where he's just gonna destroy these guys with no grappling. He fights very patiently, waits to take his shots. Literally takes the fight on the ground almost whenever he wants. I know his takedown actually is only 40%, but he averages 3.5 takedowns per fight. Only takes one punch absorbed per minute. I think he gets this win by however he wants. I think he's a prospect in the light heavyweight division, and that's not saying much.
That's what I'm saying.
There's not really too many prospects in the light heavyweight division. Who do we have? Carlos Ulberg, and I take my chances against Carlos.
Here's what I was saying too: is like think about like guys at the bottom of the light heavyweight rankings. Like, do you think that Umar Sy has a good chance against a guy like Dustin Jacoby? Do you think he has a good chance against a guy like Ming Yang Zhang? Do you these are tough
Ming
fights?
Yang Zhang isn't that good.
Yeah,
but like against Umar Sy, like is Umar Sy that good? Like that's what I'm saying. Like some of these guys, like maybe they're not good, but like is Umar Sy's pretty untested too.
Takedown defense hasn't been tested enough for me to be confident in that matchup.
Well,
I think this matchup's so easy for Sy. I think he, who did Alonzo Menifield fight last fight? It was Green, right?
It was
someone dog shit, and he almost lost.
Julius Walker.
Julius Walker, yeah.
And you guys, Walker arguably won that fight.
Yeah, it was a tough fight for him.
I think Sy is just gonna have a field day, especially the longer this fight goes. I think the longer fight goes, Sy's cardio will outlast Alonzo Menifield's. The shorter
the other thing is
still favor Sy.
Yeah, the other thing too is that Menifield hasn't got a win since he got like brutalized against Azamat Mirzakhanov, and I feel like a win or a loss like that is like super detrimental. Oh, you're right, but it wasn't like a dominating win. You know what I mean? Like I guess I see what you're saying, but like he hasn't had he hasn't like solidified himself back to where he was after that Azamat. Like he needs to get that win back, and this would be a big one to get it back, but I don't think he will.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, all agreement. Are we all on the side of Sy?
Yes.
Look at that graphic.
Let's go.
Nice.
Next fight, we have Asur Abdul Malik versus Cody Brundage. And this fight is like, I don't know, I was doing my research. I watched the fights myself, rewatched some, like, the last two fights. I rewatched what other fighters say. And these fighters are, like, a lot of these cappers or people in the MMA space, they're saying, Cody Brundage is a dangerous guy. He just gets unlucky. And dude, like, how many times can you get unlucky to keep this narrative going? I know he was a prospect at one point. I know he took down Bo or didn't get taken down by Bo. However you want to see that UFC 300 round one fight. And we saw what RDR did to Bo. We're still acting like Brundage has a chance. I know the odds are saying Nassour Abdul is going to dominate. I agree with that. I think a finish is coming Mansour's way. I don't think Mansour is the best fighter in the world. but I think he gets this done pretty comfortably. Look at that fucking reach advantage, almost an 8-inch reach advantage too.
Dude, I'm a big Mansoor fan. I think he's well-rounded, could definitely go places. D1 wrestler, striking is good, knockout power. And yeah, I'd pretty much just echo what you said. Cody is pretty much a finish or be finished guy. As long as Mansoor doesn't get caught in the first round, I think the fight is pretty much his.
I like that. Yeah, I think so too. I think this is very like with the collegiate wrestling of Abdul Malik and uh, also Cody Brundage. Like he always tends to, just go too crazy, and then like he has a moment, and then he gets clipped, and then gets finished. So I think this is gonna be one of those times where Malik gets to finish.
Yeah, I think we'll talk about this in a couple of fights as well with some of these unranked middleweights. At times, like what you see with like Bruno Silva, Joe Pyfer, um, Gerald Mearshart, even there's a lot of finishing potential at that division because people get gassed in the later rounds because you got their bigger guys, and I think that's where Cody Brundage kind of thrives, is being able to like thrive in that chaos. So potentially he could be able to catch Mansoor Abdul Malik because he's so young in the game. And Cody Brundage is relatively talented. We've seen him fraud check some people at times. Not really anybody too like Bo Nichols still dealt with him fairly easily. Jeez, I don't know what that is.
Did they put
Is
a
that in your
laugh?
house?
Did she
Okay.
put a laugh track?
When you said he's talented.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, that
No, like
was
yeah. Cody Brundage hasn't really beaten anybody super talented. I think Mansoor should be able to dance on his
I
dance on
fucked
his
up this
head on this
graphic.
one.
It should be all on Mansoor's side.
hmm
Fun fact:
Those are
Brundage
isolate matches.
Brundage hasn't won a fight that's gone out of the first round since 2021.
yeah.
Wow.
Seems like he's like one of those like kill or be killed type of guys.
Yeah, like I said,
Yeah.
I think he thrives in the chaos sometimes, but I just feel like Mansoor Abdul Malik will be more comfortable in
I
there.
just don't like his build. He
Mansoor's?
has like Cody's. He has like a slightly more defined Alex Morono build.
Well, if you can't, and I also was thinking, if you can't fraud check Bo Nickel, I can't trust you to fraud check a guy who I actually think has way more potential than Mansoor Abdul Malik. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's 100%
Yeah.
fair. So it looks like
Valid.
we're all on the Abdul Mansoor Malik train. Next
Hell
fight on the
yeah.
card is Cody Brundage versus Barcelos. And guys, I love some Cody
Garbrandt.
Brundage. I mean, Cody Gamrot. I love some fucking Cody Gamrot so much.
Camera.
And Garbrandt, I'm fucking all over the place. I love some Cody Garbrandt. We just like I'm in that stage where I keep thinking we're gonna have that Cody versus Dominic Cruz, and
Oh yeah.
Cody, we
The
got to remember
rematch.
Cody's not as fast as he used to be. His takedown defense wasn't bad against Figgy. I know once Figgy got the fight to the ground, it was a pretty easy fight, but he survived 4 takedown attempts from Figgy in that first round.
Mhm.
Once he got taken to the ground, it looked like he was a fish out of water. Barcelos, old, 38 years old. I think he did the Jose Aldo method, where he's actually like 45. To get into the UFC. He's a 5-time Brazilian national wrestling champion. Hands aren't bad either, but Cody's still fast. Not as fast as he used to be, but he's still fast for the 135 weight class. I think if he keeps shuffling around the cage, moving, I know it's easier said than done to avoid Barcelos' wrestling. He can use that speed to his advantage. I hope he's learned from the fact that wrestling is not his strong suit. If he gets caught by a wrestler, he's gonna lose. So I'm hoping it's not gonna be like a Peyton Talbot Barcelos, where Barcelos just ragdolls him. I'm hoping Cody uses his movement. Yes, I want to keep quoting the Dominic Cruz fight, but he has some slick movement. You don't know what you're gonna get from Cody though, but I'm still gonna lean towards Cody Brundage in this fight.
I mean, Chia, you literally just spoke your own like you literally told everyone how Cody's gonna like lose.
Yeah, you said
You
this.
wish his name was Cody Gamrot because he's gonna need so much grappling in this fight because Barcelos is gonna be diving on his legs the entire time, and like
I like that.
you think Cody Garbrandt is fast. 25-year-old Peyton Talbot was getting taken down by Barcelos every 2
Yeah,
seconds
but
and
Peyton
struggled with
Talbot
him
was
the
getting
entire
taken down in the
fight.
Contender Series like it was nothing too. If you guys watched the
But
Contender
but
Series fight.
but Garbrandt is it's notable that this is where he
Yeah, a lot of
struggles.
times.
This is poor matchmaking from the UFC. Match him up with a guy like Andre Muniz or another striker to have a fun fight for Cody Garbrandt. Not one where he's gonna have to be fighting off takedowns the entire time. Sure, he has a puncher's chance of punching him in the chin when he's coming in on a takedown, or getting a shot in the striking exchanges, but I just see Barcelos being able to dominate him in the wrestling exchanges and come up with a clean decision victory.
What are we talking about? Garbrandt is known to be like really bad in the wrestling.
Yeah, his
Who
striking
has
Well, it's
position
just
is pretty good.
it's notably his weakest area. Would you say his boxing or his
I think
his
or
boxing
his
is?
jujitsu.
striking?
I think
He's
his jujitsu is
sharp,
the
but
weakest area.
yeah, I would agree with that. Well, yeah, I would agree with that. But I am on the Chia side of things here, I think. I mean, I'm not confident at all in my pick on this one. Like, this is probably the tightest one for me of any of these. Um, I don't know. I just think Cody is going to have the explosiveness and the speed, like kind of like Chia mentioned on the feet. How he was able to get all those takedowns on Peyton Talbot, who's kind of relatively untested compared to former world champion Cody Garbrandt. Really good takedown defense. Statistically, like he's never. I don't. I mean, he got subbed by Davison Figueiredo, but I don't remember the last time he was subbed before that. So I don't know. I think all he has to do here, the only thing he has to worry about in order to win the fight is stave off the takedowns, and I think he could do that. But it's a low confidence pick for me. But I'll lean Cody G. No love.
I like everyone's takes here. My favorite pick on this fight would probably be like fight to go to the distance. Um, Knowing like people might bet that or that value might be there just given Cody's chinniness maybe.
Yeah.
But I do think that he has I think they're pretty evenly matched. I think it's going to be like a lot of movement, lateral movement from Garbrandt. Raoni Barcelos I think does well moving off the back foot as well in boxing. I think it's going to be a close fight, but I think I'm going to go with Barcelos to win this one. I think he'll have some big moments, and yeah, in a close decision, I don't really trust Cody Garbrandt because like I feel like he might get clipped with something big throughout in this fight, and that's a round right there for Barcelos.
I'm not even really necessarily worried about Cody Garbrandt getting clipped in this fight, but I am worried about the constant threat of the takedown that he's going to be under throughout the whole fight. We've seen guys in the bantamweight division like constantly fall victim to that, and we're talking about Cody Garbrandt here, a guy who other than the Rafael Assunção fight, which was in 2019, hasn't really proved anyone right in the win department in a while. So it's hard for me to put a lot of faith behind a guy like Cody Garbrandt right now when he hasn't really proved a lot to me.
So if we look at Cody's last fight versus Figgy, we saw a Cody Garbrandt that was hesitant, that wasn't throwing shots as much. Because against Figgy, you have to be worried about his power. You have to be worried about getting clipped in the chin. And I think Cody's a little scared of it. He knows his chin is washed. He knows his fucking chin is cracked all over the place. But he doesn't have to worry about getting chinned by Barcelos. Barcelos hasn't knocked anyone out since 2019. But that's when he was fucking like 28. He's 43 now, and look at Joey's face.
I just don't think you're like. Well, you're not like with Cody. He was never worried about getting in the striking exchanges. That's what his issue was. He would get knocked out in the first round because he would just go in there and throw caution to the wind with anybody he struck with. It was
But
like
Barcelos
he
won't
was
do
never
that.
worried about it.
Yeah, Barcelos will throw like a leg kick here and there.
But that's what I'm saying. Like he was never like you're saying that he's worried about the knockdown, like the knockout power. It's just like like he was never worried about any of that. That's why he always got knocked out, is because he never relied on anything else except him just throwing heat in the pocket.
That Biggie fight, he was not throwing heat in the pocket. I can tell you that.
Well, because he was worried about the takedown, probably, which he's gonna be in this Barcelos fight.
All I'm gonna say is Cody Garbrandt in his professional career has never just had one singular loss. It's always 2 or 3.
Like that.
Fucking out of your ass fact.
Literally an out of my ass fact.
Bro, what about Figgy?
Right now. Barcelos has never won a fight at 38 years old.
At 47 years old.
I'm looking for patterns, bro.
Yeah, Cody G's gonna win.
Barcelos won 3 fights in a row. 2017.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Pretty definitive.
Okay, I guess we're split here, and I don't think anything's gonna change our minds. No
Dude.
love. No love.
When was the last time Howney beat a world champion? Former world champion.
I mean, Cody was, when he was 22, he was fighting world champions. Since he turned 30, he hasn't fought a world. He's lost to everybody he's fought.
He did fight a world
That's
champion.
not true. He's won 2 of his last 3.
Yeah, but
who else did he beat?
They were cans.
Who else did he beat other than
Brian Kelleher and Trevin Jones.
Oh, Brian Kelleher. We're talking Brian Kelleher.
Bro, a win's a win, dude.
Brian Kelleher's a vet.
It was,
bro,
first round knockout. He treated him like Brian Kelleher, bro.
Talking about Brian Kelleher.
Dude, he's
has only lost.
Talking about a Brian Kelleher with a
dude. Brian Kelleher is 16 years younger than Howney Barcelos. Like
that's insane. Talking about Brian Kelleher
do something
winning
about these
2025. It's
Brazilian
insane.
Yeah, stop fucking Brazilians right now, Joey. Let's get to fucking.
Well, that's also part of it. Like,
Brazil.
it's just so funny that Joey spits out all this nonsense about why he's gonna win. It's just because he's Brazilian.
Viva Brazil! That's the only reason. If it was switched, I'd be on Garbrandt the entire time. If Garbrandt was Brazilian, I'd be going hardcore.
That's true. Next fight we have Edmen Shahbazyan versus Andre Petroski. Yo, I'm a big Edmen Shahbazyan fucking hater. I used to cap for MK's Discord, and my last ever cap was I had a 10-unit play on Edmen Shahbazyan versus GM3, Edmen Shahbazyan, and round 2 like plus 150. Because no one thought round 2 would start. Edmen Shahbazyan takes GM to the ground, starts grinding upon it. A shit judge, a shit ref would have fucking called that fight too. And then Edmen Shahbazyan gassed the fuck out. He gassed out, and then he lost to GM3 in 2014. Like, what the fuck? I think the odds are so heavily skewed just because Andre Petroski got a fluke knockout with fucking Malarkey's fucking hip. And I think people are discrediting Andre Petroski's chin now. I said that last fight too, and he won pretty decisively his last fight. I think Andre Petroski is gonna get the job done, especially if this fight gets out of round 1, which I think it will. That's Edmen Shahbazyan's only win con. Grappling is heavy on Andre Petroski. I think Andre Petroski has fucking world-class grappling. He's gonna show it this fight when he ground and pounds Edmen Shahbazyan and gets the money back.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna go with the underdog in Andre Petroski with you. He's a really good wrestler. I think he has, 3 rounds of fighting in him, 15 minutes of cardio, good grappling, like Chia said. He's also just a man, and Edmen Shahbazyan's kind of a boy. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're getting surprising odds, if anything, on this fight. Like last time I checked, it was almost 2-1 odds for Andre Petroski.
Yeah,
which is, I think, really good value as far as betting goes. I haven't really mentioned a bet here, but I think I'll probably put some coinage on Andre Petroski.
Yeah, I'm also riding with Andre Petroski on this one. I'm glad that we're kind of thinking the same way on this. Edmen Shahbazyan is just a child on the ground. I guess I can see where you're talking about him being a man and a boy. He literally does not know how to like handle himself in any grappling situation. It's actually quite embarrassing that he was able to make it so far in the middleweight division with absolutely zero grappling like skill whatsoever. Like you would see this out of this kind of skill set out of heavyweights, but out of a middleweight, it's actually quite disgraceful. I think Andre Petroski will probably arm triangle at him at some point in this fight because he probably will gas out from throwing 20 punches in the first round. And I'm expecting probably an Andre Petroski finish by the end of this fight, unless of course Petroski like does like a cartwheel and accidentally knocks himself out like he did in the Malkoun fight. Right?
Yeah, I'm going with Andre decision. I don't know if he's going to finish, but
Yeah, yeah. I'm with you guys. Not to sound like a broken record, but yeah, I think Petroski much stronger, and then Shabazian, just not trustworthy, especially against grapplers. So
We got 4
let's go.
dogs.
oh god.
Yeah, that is crazy.
All
Like-
4 of the boys.
This is mispriced for sure.
I agree. It should at least be like a pick'em almost, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think people think Petroski is super chinny, which he kind of is. So it is like really the first round is going to be so nerve wracking, and then after that, we're just going to see Shabazian crumple into the cage, and then Petroski will probably finish him.
Dude, I'm excited for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
excited.
yeah, this
for
one's
the
gonna be
little boy
good.
fighting this.
Dude, look at this baby on the left side.
The baby on the left is crazy. Yo.
And you got like budget Kayla Harrison on the right. Miranda looks so ready, dude.
Rose does look like a child, like fighting right now.
Yeah.
Like
It does look
Caillou
like
or
he
what?
shooted up a child.
Dude, she's like sticking out her belly, dude.
Yeah, I don't know why Rose Namajunas went up the weight class.
Yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be a fun one. I guess I could start
Fun
off with the
one?
picks first.
How is this one going to be a fun one?
Dude, because Miranda's gonna win.
Miranda has never had a fun fight in her 22
That-
career
yeah.
fight.
Dude, I'm not a simp like you. I don't need to finish for the fight to be fun, man.
I didn't finish either.
Chia, I'm
appreciate
with
the
you.
art.
I'm with you, Chia.
Dude,
Okay, it's not a fun, maybe
I
it's
know
not a
her
fun
wins
fight,
against
maybe
Jamie Lynn Horn were super and
Dude.
Andrea Lee were super impressive to you. But
dude, there's
like,
no one
I
in the
think that there's
UFC
levels
named
to this game.
Jamie Lynn Horn.
let me tell you one thing about this fight is
Okay.
Rose Namajunas is an aura farmer. If she didn't head
What?
kick Zhang Wei Li, she'd be a fucking mid-card person in the PFL. And I said the same thing about Chaos Williams, aura farming the Chaos name, and no one believed me. And look what happened.
That's just disrespectful.
The same thing is gonna happen with Rose Namajunas, fucking feeding off that one head kick. Yeah, she has good movement, but Miranda Maverick doesn't give a fuck. Look, just
No, that's
True.
just disrespectful.
give me
Rose
Miranda
is
Maverick.
Rose is possibly one of the greatest women's
Possibly one of
fighters
the
of all time.
greatest.
She could potentially still be the greatest women's strawweight of all
Wait, say
time.
that again.
Oh, I was
Cut
saying
out.
it is. No, can you hear me?
Yeah, go.
I was saying that it's just disrespectful. Rose is one of the best women's fighters of all time.
Wait, do you hear that,
That
Joey?
is disrespectful. I was arguing this today in the chat because somebody said this today in the chat, and it is dumb because Joanna Jędrzejczyk, was thought to be one of the greatest, strawweights of all time. She went in there, beat her twice, and then when Weili Zhang ended up rising through the division, then Rose was able to knock her out and prove that she was the kind of the strawweight queen. It was one of the
what weight class was
greatest. Was it not a strawweight?
Yeah, it was at 115 strawweight. which
Yeah.
Rose wasn't big for. Now she's moving up a weight class versus Miranda Maverick, who's Look at the picture. She's probably walking around at 173.
But you're not
Yeah.
understanding. Miranda, you're basing Miranda Maverick's performance off her, one, being a grappler, and two, getting floppy wins over girls like Andrea Lee and Jamie Lindhorn. Like, I
Listen,
don't think
Dude.
those are really
you've
good
been doing
wins.
it all day.
Rose's
Floppy.
last fights have been against
Joey,
actual
showing up.
contenders.
Joey, you've been doing it all card. All card, when two fighters are shitty fighting each other, you pick the grappler. Petrosky, Boralos, fucking Abdul Malik.
They're not shitty. Rose isn't shitty.
Exposed.
Rose isn't shitty. You're saying a former champion is shitty. She's
said
just
Cody
not
Garbrandt
shitty.
is
She's
shitty.
good. Like,
You
you're just
said
saying
Cody
that she's
Garbrandt
shitty
is
because
shitty.
she's a girl that's fighting, but she's
You said
actually
You
good.
said Cody
She
Garbrandt
she
is
fought a
shitty.
really close decision against Manon Fiorot. She had a 5-round decision win against Tracy Cortez. All of these people are people that Miranda Maverick has never fought to like equal competition against. Like,
Bro,
it's
all I'm
just
saying is we got a case study of exactly what's going to happen with Erin Blanchfield in Rose's last fight. It's like she got taken
or
down
that's what it was. Aaron Blanchfield was.
She got taken out 4 times, and Miranda has already fought Erin Blanchfield, who, by the way, she looked like a lot more convincing against than Rose did. Miranda has basically all the same specs as Erin does. It's just about whether or not she can get the takedowns. And it's like, dude, I trust Miranda's training. She has a good camp. Like, I know she's ready for this. We kind of don't know what Rose has been up to.
Miranda's last fight was against Horth.
Yeah, dude. Dude, Jamie Lynn Horth isn't bad. I don't know what you guys talk about.
I mean, I'm just saying she's been checked by people in her division before. Macy Barber's beat her. Jasmine Jusevicius has beat her. I think we're disrespecting how good Rose actually is, though. She's a high level fighter. She's not just some, like, we're acting like fighting Rose Namajunas is like fighting fucking Tracy Cortez right now. It's just not that. She's a
No.
high level fighter.
No, but I do think it's 3 rounds, like, which kind of benefits Miranda. Rose tends to take a little bit of time to get going. It also benefits the like wrestling that Miranda wants to do. She doesn't have to last 5 rounds against Rose. And like, yeah, Rose has been really, really good. Like, I just personally, I think Miranda's ready, bro.
Yeah, I know you said 5 rounds favors Rose, but her last fight she won the first 2 rounds against Blanchfield.
Well, this isn't a 5-round fight.
Yeah,
No,
but
3
I'm
rounds.
saying he said Rose it takes a little bit to get going, but her last fight she won the first 2 rounds and lost the last 3.
Yeah, I mean, if you
Maverick route, I'm just fact checking. But MK will be our voice of reason here and pick Miranda Maverick. So
okay. So on the graphic, you're gonna see me on Rose. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get that out of the way. But I've been listening to you guys, and I've been heeding what's been said, and I'm looking down Rose's record, and whenever she fights somebody who initiates grappling, she tends to lose. Last time that she won against someone who initiated it was, I feel like, Jessica Andrade back in 2020. So whenever I'm looking down this list, it does make me shift a little bit towards Maverick more, just because I feel like Maverick is definitely going to initiate grappling. And Rose being weary of that, I think she's gonna be a different Rose. We always see her like have like these underwhelming performances whenever it comes to these the people who are willing to. So that's what I think. But I did pick Rose initially.
That's fine. I would just never succumb to peer pressure like that.
Yeah, suck it, Joey.
No, bro. Like
I would literally never.
It's
succumb
not
to
just
peer pressure like that. I've been at it.
Okay,
I would
okay.
never let
Hey, bro.
tell me what.
No,
to
but
do.
it's not on every pick.
Bro, you would never ingest information and change your decision based on that.
I've been
That's
pretty
why he
sad
wasn't
about
the
this,
Trump
bro.
rally.
I think you guys are underrating how like Rose's skill and her ability to win fights. Like, I think that there's just 2 different skill levels here. Miranda Maverick, when she fights the higher level skilled fighters like Jasmine Jusevicius, like Erin Blanchfield, like Macy Barber, she loses. And you guys are counting Rose Namajunas as like a chick that's unranked in the flyweight division. Like, no, Rose is like one of the greatest female fighters of all time, and it's not like she's old either. She's 32 years old. I think she's a prime candidate to get a win here. I think it's just that's it.
I do hate that we're giving you the opportunity to be on an island with Rose, Joey. It's
So
kind of
all
annoying.
I'm saying is if
No, I want to.
Joey,
MK, go over to the other side because I don't want you saying
here.
shit when Rose knocks your ass out.
Okay, I'm gonna
Okay.
I'm gonna have
No,
your
I'm
back
on the other side. Pretend I'm on Maverick.
Yeah, I'm gonna have your back a little bit here. If Rose was the prediction fight striker and if Rose was the prediction strike fighter, Jackson would be on Team Rose.
Yo, facts. Actually, though.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but there's some bias for sure, but not a ton.
Okay,
No,
finally.
but like Rose is a dope fighter. If you guys had her, then I would support her too.
Bro, Joey just likes Rose because she's Brazilian, bro.
Yeah,
Yo.
exactly. I just because of her ties to Pat Barry, we're cool.
Yeah.
I think the fight that most people are excited to see this card.
Oh yeah, the main event.
Tomorrow, the Nightmare Usman versus
And I'm gonna be on an island with
versus
this one too. You guys are
Joaquin
gonna all bully me.
versus Joaquin had that one cool kick against Impa Kasinga. Buckley.
Had that one cool kick. Wait. Well, I gotta check what your picks are. Wait, y'all say it.
What are you saying?
Wait, what's your pick? You said he had one cool kick.
Yeah, he had one cool kick at Impa.
No way, bro.
Chia, you're going Usman?
Of course, I'm going Usman.
Let's go!
What?
Dude, you guys are
Jackson,
Yo,
get out of here, bro!
what is going on right now?
you guys are idiots, dude.
Jackson,
What?
get out of here, bro!
Dude, that's good.
Bro, what?
Bro, Jackson's taking a fat L on Saturday with
Dude.
this Miranda Maverick, and he's picking Joaquin Buckley. It's terrible for him. This is a terrible look for you, Jackson.
Bro, both of you guys gotta have like mold growing in your room or something, affecting your brains.
I actually did in my old apartment.
And who do you have, Monkey?
Oh god. Be quiet, MK.
Okay.
But yeah, I got Joaquin. Kamaru's like super old. Hasn't won a fight in 4 years. There's just I don't know how you could pick a guy like that against a guy like Joaquin Buckley, who can pretty much do it all. He's found a good amount of success with the wrestling since switching weight classes. Doesn't matter because he is such a powerful striker with such great movement, both in the feet and the head.
His movement same as DDP. He just fucking rushes forward.
Nuh-uh, dude. He bounces on his feet, bro.
Bro,
Has
DDP's
anybody
cooking
said
though.
anything in the YouTube live, or are we like?
I think low-key, I think because of the time that we're streaming, it's hard to get viewers.
One viewer.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, it's also there's that desktop thing I was talking about too,
What?
where
Well,
it's
either
like
way, I'm
there's-
sorry for distracting the topic. I love to hear Chia absolutely bash Jackson over the head with this pick.
Come on, Chia.
Dude, I don't
I
know.
need to
how
hear
you
this.
go Buckley.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys want to give a breakdown? Jack, Joe, you want to go first?
All right, I'll do the bashing if you'd like.
Yeah.
I with Kamaru Usman's age, the biggest thing that he's going to need in this fight is his power. And we've seen it on display in a lot of his fights when he was in his prime against guys like Gilbert Burns and Jorge Masvidal. So this is something that he's really going to need to rely on in this fight against a guy in Joaquin Buckley who at least 185 was a little bit chinny and had problems taking punches. He was even getting wobbled against Wonder Boy at 170. I think that Kamaru can win some of these striking exchanges against Buckley, and when he's not winning the striking exchanges, I think he'll be able to kind of marab his way to a victory by pushing Joaquin Buckley up against the fence. I see a lot of Tyron Woodley in Joaquin Buckley, and I think this is a perfect fight for Kamaru Usman to show off that he's can still be dominant at some high levels in this welterweight division, and I think it sets up for a beautiful and perfect matchup. Kamaru Usman versus Bilal for the first contender or number one contender to be the title. Just makes
Bro,
sense.
I do not want to see that fight.
Yeah,
At all.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't think I'll ever get on the Buckley train. I don't know. I used to really like Buckley, especially after Impa Kasanga kick or Kasinga, whatever you want to say. But dude, he doesn't do anything. He's like explosive. He's so Cedricus Dumas.
He's extremely
Dude.
he's extremely explosive, but you have to think in a 5-round fight, he's gonna which he's. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jackson. He could have been in a 5-round fight against Imavov, but I don't think he's ever been in a 5-round fight before. So this is going to be a tough fight for him to keep up with the pace of Kamaru Usman, a guy who's once dropped like 200 strikes in a 5-round fight, and 5 takedowns. Like this, Prime Usman was mauling these guys at welterweight, and if he's an eighth of what he used to be, I think he'll be able to beat a guy like Joaquin Buckley, especially
Dude,
in the
he's
later rounds.
100% an eighth of what he used to be, but he's not. He doesn't have an eighth of his cardio left, bro. Like
You don't think
5
so?
rounds is 5 rounds is not going to be an advantage for him. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
And no, I don't. And I see this one ending earlier than that probably too. But
I don't think cardio is going to be a factor for either of these fighters in 5 rounds.
I think the cardio will be there, but like 5 rounds just gives them gives Buckley so many opportunities to lunge in and try to get that shot off. And I don't think Kamaru Usman is gonna find a shot and KO him. I think he's gonna point fight him and be smart.
No, I don't think so at all.
You think Kamaru's coming to KO him or wrestle him?
See, I think Kamaru's going to be on his front foot a lot of this fight. He's going to have to be. He's going to have to keep up with the pace of Buckley. Instead of, shying away from the exchanges, he's going to have to be right in there with the exchanges, but landing more. And I think that's perfect for training with Trevor Whitman. Being able to strike with guys like Justin Gaethje and train with guys like that who are going to test you on the feet. And I think that's something that's super important for this fight is his power and being able to check Buckley when he comes in, going crazy on his strikes. Because once that happens, we've seen it before, especially in his 185 fights when Buckley was scared of the power, like against Imavov and other fights where he went
Chris Curtis
decisions. Yeah, Chris Curtis. You're seeing him more try and be a point fighter where he's throwing more teeps and staying on his jab more because he doesn't want to exchange with those people. So Kamaru's got to earn the respect of Joaquin Buckley. Once he does that, he wins the fight, and I think he'll be able to do that in the later rounds, especially.
I agree. MK Jackson, does your mind change if I told you that Buckley went to a primarily white high school?
I wasn't even thinking about his education.
Why would that change anything?
I'm just checking.
That's hilarious.
Kamaru Usman pretends to be born in Africa, doesn't he? He was born in Nebraska. I'm pretty
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Fake newsman, bro.
Yeah. So I mean, it can go both ways, but I still do think that Usman has still some in the tank. I think everybody talks about, is he healthy enough for this fight? Kamaru Usman's never been 100% his entire career. When he was champion, his knees were, tied together with a piece of Scotch tape.
But he didn't lose for over a decade, and then he lost 3 in a row, and then stopped fighting for 2 years.
I mean, I see where you're coming from for sure, and it's going to be tough. Especially coming back down because his last fight was at 185. So I definitely see where you're coming from. It's going to be tough, and it does seem like I'm going out on a limb here with the old vet to be able to hold up here, and it would also just be so for UFC script writing against Bilal. It literally would just be a chef's kiss. Nobody gives a shit about a Buckley fight, unless it's because guess what? Buckley's never gonna Ian Gary never gonna fight Buckley. Sean Brady is never gonna fight Buckley. None of these guys are going to do it. They already have fights they're seeking in the future with Shavkat and Islam and Bilal. These are bigger names. Leon, nobody cares about it.
You think Leon's a bigger name right now than Buckley?
I don't know about that. Leon is a big name, but I think he a lot recency bias will definitely drag that down a lot.
I think a lot of people are on the Buckley train. I just think a lot of people are going to be disappointed when Usman checks him.
Whoops his ass.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't hate it.
Jackson included.
Dude, if Buckley loses, this might have to be some sort of.
It's crazy because it's crazy because I was sitting here thinking, I'm like, damn, I'm really gonna have to be all in on this Ange Lusa fight because I knew I was like
What?
3-1 on that one, and then as we're going through, I started seeing more that I'm gonna have to be mad at you guys about. I
Yes,
really
sir.
thought that I was really gonna have to be all in on an Ange Lusa fight, like whether it's gonna be on this card or not.
Dude, that might be the fight of the night, though.
Ange Lusa
Yeah.
versus Phil Rowe. We'll
Yeah.
see, man.
All I know is I'm gonna be watching these fights in Cancun. It's getting harder.
Bro,
Ooh,
I'm going to Cancun in August.
damn.
We
Hey.
might see each other there.
Actually, you're staying there that long?
No way.
Oh, okay, I was about to say.
Last thing before we end, shout out to my boy Namo. He's fighting on Saturday.
Yeah, let's go Namo.
I'm gonna watch that. You gonna stream it, MK, on Discord?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, is it on UFC Fight Pass, right?
No.
Oh shit. I'll
And
find
go
it. I'll
live,
find it.
and go live Saturday with me during the main card. I'll go live and
I
we can
cannot
hang
do
out
that.
again.
Bet. I got you. I'll be available.
Okay.